4 surprising things that I've noticed about myself since I stopped smoking. My name is Dr. Kojo. I am your Hollywood mental health expert. And in this video, I'll talk about my breakup with Mary Jane, how my life has drastically improved, and hopefully I can inspire a couple of you all who have been struggling to quit as well. Number 1, greater control of my emotions. The first thing that I notice is I have better control of my emotions. And on top of that, I have more access to my emotions. So one of the reasons why I would smoke is because I didn't want to deal with all of my emotions. And as somebody who's a therapist and a mental health professional, I felt like it was important to wear my scrubs for this video only because I don't see other mental health professionals talking about this. I see people on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or wherever, they're talking about signs that marijuana is bad, signs that weed is bad, this is what happens if you smoke, so on and so forth. But nobody ever talks about it from their own perspective. So I thought it was important for me to wear these scrubs so that way I can come here and show y'all that I'm human as well and that sometimes I don't want to deal with my emotions. And as a mental health professional and also as a content creator with a large following, there's a lot that is coming at me. And a lot of these emotions, as I've been gaining more and more followers, I didn't want to deal with them. I wanted to put certain things off, certain issues with family. I didn't want to address them, things from my past. I just didn't want to talk about it or even get close to it. So I would use smoking as a way to just not have to feel certain things. So when I stopped, it was rough in the beginning because obviously I really couldn't sleep, had a hard time eating. It took me a couple of days to get my appetite back. And now I have to face my emotions once again. That was the downside. That was the challenging part. The good part is that now I have access to my emotions and I'm able to control them a little bit better. I remember one time I was driving to acting class and I didn't have a good performance. I went up, I did my thing, and my acting teacher told me that I was too robotic. I wasn't able to really get into the scene. And for the next month, I would drive to class looking at pictures of my ex. True story, just to feel something. But I couldn't access my emotions because I was high all the time. I had developed a tolerance and had learned how to mask my emotions and just be high and not feel them. So once I started to feel my emotions once again, I started to deal with the things that I had been avoiding. And I'm still working through that, but it has improved my confidence and I don't have those mood swings as much. I'm able to control my emotions. So whereas in the past it was, I felt bad, I had to get high or else I would crash out. Now I can realize that I'm starting to get worked up and I'm starting to get angry. And instead of crashing out or retaliating or sending a text or calling somebody and saying something that I don't want to say, what I'll do is I'll realize that I'm getting upset. And then I'll get up, I'll shake it off. A lot of times I'll put on my shoes and go for a walk and touch grass. And after a 5 to 10 minute walk, I feel so much better. And I'll think to myself, wow, was it really that simple? The second thing I noticed is that my friends went away. Now I do have friends, but my friend group shrunk. And I wasn't expecting this. I had heard that once you stop smoking, the people that you hang out with is going to change, but I didn't really know what to expect. Once I stopped smoking, I realized that all the times that I was tempted to smoke again or to roll up again was when I was in the vicinity of people who were always smoking. And it blew my mind. I'm like, okay, if I'm struggling and I keep going on tea breaks over and over. And that's what happened for me. September 16th was my last time. But before that, I kept trying to quit. I felt like Brett Favre when he was trying to retire from the NFL. I just couldn't leave the game alone. I couldn't leave the game alone for whatever reason. I realized that my friend group changed. I still have my core group of friends, but a lot of the people that I would spend time with, it was always in an environment where there was always a joint around or a blunt around. And it was just normal for them to, roll up, spark up, hand it to me. So I got tired of having to always say, all right, hey man, I'm good off of that. I appreciate you. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you don't smoke anymore? Yeah, no. Oh, is it because of a job? No, no, bro. I think I'm good. Oh, okay. Let's see how long it lasts. No, I'm good. Like I'm actually good forever. And it's tough explaining that to people because people think that, okay, is this a tea break? And maybe it might be a tea, even if it is a tea break, I'm good off of it right now. But my friend group, I felt like I had way more friends when I was always high or drunk or inebriated. And it's kind of sad when you lose some of the people that you've, had those moments with, because some of your most fun moments are when you're off of some sort of a substance because you're carefree, you're having a good time, you're doing your thing. But I had to learn how to have fun again because I was having fun before I even started smoking. This was a California thing. I didn't smoke before I came to California. So now all of a sudden it's legal here. Everybody's rolling up and getting high. So you meet all these people and you have a lot of fun. But obviously there's reasons why you quit. Now I'll probably talk about that in a different video, like signs that you probably need to quit. But my friend group, it just shrunk. And I'm so cool with those people, but I'm just not spending that much time with them because it's going to be harder to maintain that abstinence from substances when you're around them all the time. So I had to change my environment. The third thing that I realized is that my sleep is much better now. And it's ironic because one of the reasons why I would smoke was because I had insomnia. My insomnia has been bad since I was a kid. I can't remember a time where I didn't have bad insomnia. And I know this is something that comes from me having ADHD, but my insomnia it's still an issue. The only difference now is that I went to my psychiatrist last year and I told her, I said, hey, I'm having trouble sleeping. Thank you for the ADHD medications. They work. I know how those work. I prescribe the same pills to my patients. So thank you for the stimulants. But at the same time, I can't sleep at night. And then she started talking about all these different sleep aids. I already know what the sleep aids are because I prescribed the same meds. And she gave me trazodone. And the trazodone was probably one of the best decisions that I made last year. And it's funny because when she was explaining the side effects to me, because whenever you prescribe medication, that's what you do. Like I explain the side effects to my patients. She was telling me that, oh, this is an old antidepressant that we don't use for depression. We use it for sleep. I already know all this stuff, but I'm just letting her do her job. And she was talking about the side effects. She was saying, oh, sometimes people, complain that when they take trazodone, they can get a little, sometimes a little bit too sexually amped up. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that ain't a problem. Ain't a problem. No, ma'am, that's not a problem. I'm not going to report any type of increased horniness from the medication. That's not a problem. But getting that medication was helpful because now I could sleep without having to smoke at night. And it's funny because the majority of times that I would smoke would be at night. And I was telling myself, okay, I just gotta smoke. I just gotta take this edible just to help myself get to sleep. But that's all I need help with. And the thing is that, like trazodone, like the THC would get me to sleep fairly quickly. The only difference is that I wouldn't stay asleep as much. It wasn't restful sleep. And there is evidence that, when you consume THC, it cuts down on the REM sleep. So I wasn't rested in the morning. So I'd wake up and I'd be tired, but because I would take my stimulants, my ADHD medications, after about an hour, hour and a half, like I'm popped up. I'm ready to go because obviously the stimulants have woken me up, but my brain is still tired. I'm still having that brain fog because I had to get high last night to sleep, or so I was telling myself. So the first maybe 3 weeks for me was hard. The sleep, insomnia, uh, strange dreams, just sweating at night. It wasn't comfortable, and I can see why the majority of people who want to quit, when you take a tea break, the majority of folks relapse within the first week, within the first 5 days, because that's when it's the hardest. And that's truly when it's the hardest. So I, knowing all this stuff, I just had to press on, press on. I just told myself, all right, Kojo, let's just keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. And at some point, things will get a little bit better. And things got better when I finally told my psychiatrist. I was like, hey, yeah, I'd like something for sleep. So my sleep is much better now, and I'm grateful for that. And the reason why I wear this Aura ring, a lot of people look at this ring and people think that I'm married. One of the most Google things about me is Dr. Kojo's wife. I'm not married. I hope to find me a nice woman, move to Nashville, and retire one day. But no, I'm not married. But this Aura ring is here to help me track my sleep. It's an objective marker of my sleep because I've struggled with insomnia for so long. So now I make sure that at a minimum I'm getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep. And fortunately, this Aura ring also it calculates REM sleep. I'm not a rep for Aura. I don't get paid off of talking about it. It just helps me out. So my sleep is much better. And the fourth and final thing that I realized after I stopped smoking is that I make healthier food choices, much healthier food choices. I'm somebody who I've been in shape for, my whole life. I was kind of a chubby kid, but ever since I was like 13 or 14, I don't really put on weight that quickly. Like I'm fairly in shape, but there have been moments in my life when I just felt like I was winded or out of shape or I just felt heavy. And I have put on weight from eating or binge eating after smoking because that's the thing, the munchies. And I remember there was this one time where I was smoking with a bunch of friends and we were ordering some food. And my friend forgot to order food, but he said he had ordered food. And I'm like, you told me you ordered food an hour ago. And all the guys like were sitting there, were hungry. I'm like, you know what? Let me order some food. So I ordered some food from DoorDash, and then my food comes, and then he had ordered that food. So now we had 2 huge orders of food from DoorDash, and it's just a group of 3 or 4 guys. But each order had enough food for 4 guys. Tell me how we went through all of the food that one night. I just shoved it inside of me. And then the next day, I'm in the toilet like this. Just I'm in the toilet just regretting everything I ate last night. I'm just like, oh man, my stomach hurts, my stomach hurts. And then you tell yourself you'll never do it again. And then you get lit, you get high again, and then you overeat because of the munchies. And you're eating all kinds of things. Diabetes already runs in my family. So I have to be mindful of what I eat. Even if I'm not putting on weight and I appear to be in shape, I gotta be mindful of my A1C. I just have to, I'm getting older. I'm getting up there. I'm 32 now. We're not 22 no more. We're not 25 no more. We're getting up there in age. They call me Unc now. The kids call me Unc. So I gotta take care of my health. And now I make healthier food choices. I eat a high protein, high fiber diet. I am in the best shape of my life now. Like as of this month, I haven't been in bad shape, but right now I could, if I had to go run 2 miles consecutively, I could do it. If I had to, for some reason, just you know, pump 225, I can 8 to 10 reps of 225 in my sleep. I can play pick a basketball. I got a pair of shorts underneath at all times. If a game of 5-on-5 basketball breaks out, I'm ready. I'm good. I got energy. I'm full of life. And when I was smoking, I felt like I was just more lethargic from all the overeating, just from brain fog, and making healthier food choices. It helps me sleep better too. I'm not dumping my body with all this food at night. It's hard to sleep when you just ate a whole thing of McDonald's, and then after that, an hour later, you go to In-N-Out, you get a couple of double doubles, you get the fries with the cheese, and then you go get that little milkshake too. How are you gonna mix the milkshake from In-N-Out with a McFlurry from McDonald's? Like, think about it. The food that you binge eat during one of those episodes where you're clearly high. Uh, yeah, I look back and I'm like, those are some disgusting food combinations. How does that even go together? So these are 4 surprising things that I've noticed about myself since I've given up the Mary Jane. And for those people who, because this is probably the number one question I get asked, like, how you stop smoking? How you stop smoking? I can only present y'all with the evidence-based information. I tell people that if you're gonna smoke, I don't recommend it, but if you're gonna smoke, it's better to do it after your brain is fully formed, after 25, 26. But when you start smoking during those formative years, 13, 14, 15, 16, you're lowering your IQ, you're increasing the risk of psychosis. I've worked 8+ years out of my life at the psych hospital. So I've seen so many people come in, first break psychotic episode, and it's induced from marijuana. So it's not as harmless as we think it is. Is there a therapeutic place or use for it in medicine? I think there could be. I think there could be. I've seen it help out a lot with veterans with PTSD and epilepsy in some instances. So it's not an awful thing. I just think that people don't really respect THC and cannabis and how potent it can be. And the fact that even if it's not addictive like alcohol, in the sense that your body needs it, there is this physiological, this mental addiction that you develop to it, this dependence, because whenever you're feeling a certain way, instead of dealing with that emotion, you know, oh, I can just roll up. I don't have to feel like I can just roll up. I'm good off all of this stuff. So and so pissed me off. I'll just get high. So that dependence on it is where the slippery slope, tends to happen. So hopefully this video is helpful. Those are some things that I noticed, and I feel like all of those changes, even the smaller friend group, are all things that have been beneficial for me. And hopefully this video can help y'all. And use the comment section to let me know what other thoughts y'all have and other ways that I can help y'all out. But I hope that this video inspires somebody who is on the edge. They're trying to decide, all right, should I give it up? Should I not? And normally, if you're thinking about that, question, there's a good chance that you could benefit by at least trying a tea break. So hopefully this video helps. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, I love y'all. Peace.